everybody, my name is Lily, and today we are going to do a read-along to one of my favorite books, The Adventures of VeggieMan by Carla Farich, illustrations by Rob Foote. So look at this cover, it looks super fun. So let's get into it. Everybody get comfy. Something is very wrong here, thought Nico, looking around his new classroom in disbelief. Kids were tossing candy wrappers at each other, jumping on tables, and sleeping at their desk. The teacher was eating a bag of potato chips and reading a newspaper as if nothing was wrong. Nico went to find the principal. Shiny machines with flashing buttons lined the walls of the principal's office. They pumped out donuts, potato chips, and soda. The air was filled with the smells of cakes and candy, cookies and chips. A huge red gummy man was at the controls. He turned to Nico. "I'm Mr. Gumbo, the principal," he said in a sugary voice. "How can I help you?" Nico gulped. I think there's a problem in the school, Mr. Gumbo." Mr. Gumbo raised his eyebrows. "Have the children run out of candy? Cakes? Cookies? Are the potato chips gone?" Nico shook his head. Mr. Gumbo laughed. "Then everything is just fine. You may be the only one with a problem, a hunger problem." The principal gestured at the machines. "Eat anything you want, dear boy, as much as you want. It's here for you." Nico knew the processed foods weren't right for him. But if Mr. Gumbo thought it was all right, Nico raced to one of the machines and pulled out a bag of potato chips. He took a chocolate bar from another. Just as he was about to take a bite, a voice whispered, "Psst, psst. Hey, Nico, over here. Don't eat that stuff." Nico looked around and saw a small chickpea standing on a desk. The more junk food you eat, the more you want. Too many children have already fallen under the spell of junk food. You don't have to be another one. Nico knew the chickpea was telling the truth. He had seen what had happened to his classmates. So here's the chickpea over here. He glanced at the candy and chips in his hand, and he slowly pulled them out. The chickpea smiled. "Good choice, Nico. You know the school is in trouble. Will you help?" Nico nodded. "Find VeggieMan. He's the only one who can save us." The chickpea handed him a map. "This will lead you to where VeggieMan lives in the green forest. Tell him Miss Chickpea sent you. Please hurry." Nico ran to the forest. He found the lake that was marked on the map. "VeggieMan," he called. The ground trembled, and a humongous green stalk unfolded its leaves with a loud ploof. Nico jumped back in alarm. "Don't be frightened," the green man said. "I'm VeggieMan. How can I help?" "I'm Nico. Miss Chickpea sent me," Nico replied. "Junk food is creating chaos in my school." VeggieMan nodded. "Don't worry. My job is to fight the evil forces of junk food wherever I find them. In schools, in supermarkets, and in vending machines. My troops and I will bring order to your school and restore your classmates to health and vitality." So check out Mr. VeggieMan. He's a big guy, looking strong and green. "Troops, assemble," VeggieMan commanded. The forest came alive. Blueberries and raspberries jumped from the bushes and marched forward. Oranges, apples, and pears parachuted from the trees. A brigade of broccoli, carrots, and asparagus rose from the forest and fell into formation behind a battalion of cabbages and kale. The lake began to shimmer, and a beautiful woman rose from the center. "Aqua Lady, reporting for duty," she called. "Let's march out," VeggieMan said. "Nico, lead the way." The gates of the school were guarded by two gigantic hot dogs. "Halt," one of them shouted. "You do not have permission to enter." They pointed their french fry sticks at Nico and VeggieMan. "You will not stop us," VeggieMan said. "We bring health and vitality. Stand aside." Never! The hot dogs shook their sticks and mustard splattered everywhere. VeggieMan pulled a great breath of air into his lungs and let it out with the force of a hurricane. The hot dogs flew backward and slammed into the gates. VeggieMan and his troops marched in. As soon as they entered the school, a hail of mini candies flew at VeggieMan and his troops. VeggieMan raised his arms. The toxic candies bounced off his strong leaves and flew back at the attacking gummy bears, causing chaos in their ranks. Quickly, the blueberries joined hands to form a net. They threw themselves at the enemy troops and squeezed. The gummies turned into a squishy lump of messy sugar. "Spread out," VeggieMan ordered his troops. The school was silent as Nico and a battalion of carrots walked carefully through the empty corridors. The students and teachers were hiding. There was no one to be seen. Slowly, Nico opened the door to the cafeteria. A volley of hard little cheese balls rained down on him and hit him in the face. "Ouch! Ouch!" he cried. A big piece of pizza shouted, "Ready, aim, fire!" and another volley rained down. A company of chips swarmed the carrots, attacking them with cheese puff swords. Bright red corn chips stabbed with their pointy heads. "Carrots, attack!" a corporal called. The veggies pounded the chips and cheese balls with their strong bodies. Soon, there was nothing left but a pile of crumbs. Nico looked out the window. "No!" he shouted, then ran out the door. A girl was standing in the middle of the playground, stuffing donuts, cupcakes, and cookies into her mouth. With each bite, she ballooned up until her face was so swollen that her eyes were no bigger than the tips of her fingernails. Nico raced over. "You have to stop eating all that stuff or you'll explode," he warned. "I want more," the girl said, spitting crumbs everywhere. She took a bite of a chocolate donut, and suddenly she was as round as a beach ball. But that didn't stop her. She rolled towards a cream-filled cupcake. VeggieMan, followed by some troops, burst onto the playground. "She'll be okay," he assured a worried-looking Nico. "Once she starts eating healthy foods, she'll return to normal." Nico led the girl to the edge of the playground while a platoon of apples, oranges, and tomatoes, led by a giant Brussels sprout, rolled after the donuts and squashed them into a mush. "To the gym," called VeggieMan. They raced back inside. Nico opened the door to the gym. Soda cans rushed toward him, spraying a sticky mess everywhere. Nico's feet stuck to the floor. A can of cola ran straight at VeggieMan and exploded. Sugary syrup covered his leaves. They drooped and sagged. "VeggieMan, you're hurt," Nico said. "Don't worry, Nico," VeggieMan replied. "Green can heal. That is the power of nature. I will be okay." Just then, Aqua Lady flowed into the gym. She raised her shimmering blue arms. A stream of pure water flowed from her hands and washed VeggieMan clean. Immediately, his leaves perked up. Aqua Lady smiled and aimed her hands at the Soda Army. A powerful wave of clear water stopped the sugary spray and washed the crumpled cans and the sticky drinks into the recycling bin. So here you can see Aqua Lady saving the day. VeggieMan, Aqua Lady, and Nico ran into the hall. Miss Chickpea was rushing down the corridor toward them, followed by her troops of quinoa, lentils, and rice. "Good to see you, Miss Chickpea," VeggieMan said with a big smile. "You look as chic as ever." "And you, VeggieMan, are as charming as ever," Miss Chickpea replied. "But this is no time for flattery. We've stopped the junk food troops for now, but Mr. Gumbo is still at large and will refill the school with junk food in no time. We need to stop him." "Lead the way," VeggieMan said. In the office, Mr. Gumbo was furiously typing orders into his machines. Beads of melted sugar gathered on his forehead and dripped onto the keyboard. "Stop," VeggieMan yelled. "You are poisoning the kids with this junk food." Mr. Gumbo swung around to face him. "I'm just giving them what they want," he snarled. "They choose to eat it." "That's because they don't know the consequences," VeggieMan said. "That's about to change." Mr. Gumbo knew his time was running out. He lunged at VeggieMan. VeggieMan ducked, and Mr. Gumbo slammed into the wall. He slid off and melted into a pool of thick, slimy sugar. Mr. Gumbo's rule had come to an end. Mr. Gumbo looks a little sad. He knows it's about to be over. The children and teachers came out of their hiding places and they helped clean up. Aqua Lady washed down the rooms until they were sparkling clean. Nico helped Miss Chickpea set up the tables filled with beautiful, healthy food. There were salads with crisp green spinach, brilliant red tomatoes, and creamy avocados. Big pots of delicious-smelling lentil soup bubbled away. Plump red cherries, deep purple grapes, juicy oranges, and yummy pineapples glistened in glass bowls. The children's eyes grew wide when they saw the scrumptious feast, and soon all the kids were enjoying the fresh, healthy food. Their bloated bodies began to deflate, and the color came back to their faces. They felt calm and happy. VeggieMan looked at the gleaming school and lively, bright-eyed children. The battle for the school had been won, but the war against junk food was not over. There was still work to be done. VeggieMan gathered the kids in the playground. "My brave young kids," he said, "order has been restored. Your school is safe once again. But junk food is still a danger. You need to make sure that nothing like this ever happens again." "But how can we do that?" asked George. "By using your power of choice. Think of Nico," said VeggieMan. "He's just a kid, but his choices helped save your school. You have the same power." "A superpower?" called Alexandros. "Yes," answered VeggieMan. "Choice is a superpower. So choose to say no to harmful junk food and say yes to healthy foods that nourish your bodies and your minds. Choose what is good for you, and you'll grow up strong, healthy, and happy." The kids' eyes widened as they realized their own power. Then they cheered. In the afternoon sunlight, VeggieMan seemed to glow. His work was done for today. Awesome. Well, that's the end of the story, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time for Read Aloud.